Alright, here we go again. Well, let's see. We finished the prologue last time, which is actually a little bit faster than I would expect to do it, which hopefully I'll be finishing these chapters faster than we normally would in a real game, just simply for the fact that I'm doing this by myself, there's no players with me. Though, of course, if you would like to have a game, please contact me and I will be happy to arrange it. I'm always looking for more opportunities to put up videos like this and make more content. Any suggestions that you would like to see Rike make for decisions that she's making in this particular story, please engage, please send me comments. I will be happy to consider them. I am trying to keep things in line with her personality as well, of course. That's just how the dice rolled it up and try to tell an interesting story. But let's see, to start with, we have Breakfast with Sama, which is an interesting affair. They wake up in the morning, looking out over the landscape with the shattered skies we discussed last time. Since they are on the edge of a volcano, they recognize that yes, indeed, this is Rogue's Glade. And Rike has vaguely good memories about Rogue's Glade. Well, calling them memories is a bit too strong. She has a sense that there's something about Rogue's Glade that she likes. Is this where her objective is? Is it a place she wanted to visit someday on her bucket list? Is it her hometown? Could be any of those. Well, we know it's not her hometown, but let's see. And yeah, she remembers. More importantly, it's not her hometown, but there was something about it she wanted. Whether it's where she wanted to go or something else that she liked about it, doesn't recall. Still working on those memories. But yes, breakfast for Sama. Rike gets to watch as Sama makes breakfast, and she transforms some dust, local rocks, just something nearby, some nearby debris, into some kind of hot, sweet liquid. Coffee? Hard to say what exactly. Sweet maybe is being too generous for calling it coffee. Chocolate, hot chocolate. We can call it hot chocolate. She tastes it, doesn't mind, seems pretty good. A second attempt at food generation ends up with some warm cake-like items that are somewhat warm. You call it bread fresh out of the oven. She eats the bread and it does have a particularly meaty flavor. It tastes like chicken. It's something a little off. It's not quite chicken. I'm not sure what it is. I know what it is, but she doesn't. And yeah, Sama makes breakfast and they discuss what do we do now. Before heading back down into the town that's still visibly smoldering, or exploring the area up here. They seem to be in a small town up the slopes of the volcano, which looks like it could be maybe a shrine to the volcano, probably something still part of Rogue's Glade. If they look around from where they are, they can actually see. I forgot to note what their coordinates are, but I remember what they are, so we're lucky. Yes, they can see nearby around them. There are some small ash cones nearby, and not a lot of people. It looks like there are a few people actually nearby. I should roll for that. Do they interact with those people at all? Just vaguely no, those people are busy running down to help further down the mountain. They look like they are otherwise concerned with what's going on with the smoldering town below. They wave a greeting and no more than that. Trark and Sama are certainly not interested in doing more than that. But yeah, looking around, they can see definitely cooled lava formations up and around. From where they are, they can't see a whole lot. They do see some steam rising from some bubbling pools. It looks like there's one of those to the northeast of where they are. There's another ash cone to the north. They can't see past the ash cone, but it looks like there is to the west of the ash cone some rising steam, so there's something like that up there. So yeah, what do they do now? Trark in fact, asks that very question to to Rike. Where do you want to go now? And Rike is still somewhat disoriented, but with her issues of memory and all that going on, she would ask, how would I know? She doesn't know where she wants to go. She doesn't know what she wants to do. She wants to get her memories back if possible. And at this point, let me actually roll for this here. Yeah, she is feeling much more oriented and back to her suspicious self and wants to know, okay, do you know who I am? Do you know... What does Trark say? Do you know who I am? Well, first of all, does he know who she is? Roll for that. And, okay, that answers that question. And what does he say? Oh, I just want to go for walks. I'm not too concerned about who people really are. I know that you're a shadow mage. I know that you have grand ambitions. Or you did before you lost your memory. Maybe your memory loss was part of those ambitions. I know not to ask too many questions. I like to keep things simple, he says. And I like to follow paths that I find in the world, and right now, the path I'm following is you. Why are you following my path? Rike would ask, to which Trark would answer, I have reasons, just like you can see through the shadows and the areas around you and pierce the darkness with your powers. I have vision of my own, and right now I have reasons for thinking that I should be following you. Yes, I know it's cryptic, but I also have reasons for not explaining much more than that. Fine, keep your secret, says Rike. I still don't know who I am or what I should do. So she looks around. What does she decide to do? She could explore the nearby area, see if there's anything here among the houses and whatnot. Buildings are sparse. Do they see any buildings at all? Okay, yes, they can see a building far in the distance to the west. And that's it. There are other buildings in the area. I can see them on the map, but they cannot see them from their current vantage point. So the question is, do we go there? She can go there. She can go back south. She can say, forget it. I'm just going to wander off to the east or something. Oh, the east. She can detect things around here. Does she notice that? She would probably be able to notice that. Does she care about it? Roll once. Yeah, alright. She decides to go east, see what that thing is. She can feel something east. Let's check out to the east, she says. Salmon. Trark follow her. Sama looking somewhat nervous and on guard, as she often is. Is that her personality there? Yeah. She's not nervous. But she is on guard. Alright. In any case, Trark moves along. Yeah. So he is walking, they're walking down, following her. They go over to they find a cooled lava tunnel, which is interesting. It looks like it may lead down to some other lava tunnels that maybe run under this part of the volcano, which is, we'll say active because we can see the geysers. There's definitely bubbling pools. There's heat from beneath, for sure. The volcano is not entirely inactive, but the lava tunnels are cool and empty for the moment. Inside the lava tunnel, however, she finds an elf. Okay, elf guy here. And she can see him trying to do something with... He's testing some kind of magic thing. And it looks like he's got some kind of rock that he's managed to enchant somehow. And he is making some rocks float around him. And that's what got her attention. That slight magic use going on. I get the feeling this is going to be a very magic-heavy campaign. That's the first thing we saw was 3 mages. So technically 4 or 5, but you may not have noticed the others. Let's see. So yeah, magic-heavy campaign. It happens. We can adjust those settings in other campaigns as you wish, according to the games you want to run. But yeah, let's see. What does she do with... Finds the mage, offers him, hey, do you like something to eat? She offers him one of the cakes she was eating earlier, since Sama made plenty of them. She got the cakes, offers them over. Looks like he accepts. Alright, so what happens? What else happens here? We have... yeah. That is not that. Alright, let's move along to over here. Alright. The guy is not... At first he's kind of concerned. Like, what are the... Who are you? What do you want? What is this? He seems on guard. And she just wants to know, hey, what are you doing? He seems a little bit less open. He's still somewhat suspicious. It's experimenting down in the lava caves where I won't hurt anyone. Why do you care? Well, she... Go for that. I don't care. She says, I'm trying to figure out my purpose in life and where I am, what I'm doing, and I see you working on this. And he thinks, and you think he says, and you think my magic will have something to do with your purpose in life? To which she shrugs and says, no, I just don't know where to go right now. Well, I'm sure the people down the slope could use your help. No one could have missed what happened last night. To which she asks, given that makes kind of sense, like, maybe you can tell me what happened last night. Yes, I saw it, of course, but I have no idea what it is. He says, no one does. We were attacked. Well, we have no shortage of enemies. We still don't know who it was. I'm just working on my skills up here. There's nothing I can do to help, so this is the best I can do. What are you trying to do? Asks Rike. And does he give in and tell her? No, just making rocks float, which is more useful than you might think. How did you detect me? What school of magic do you follow? Yeah, what school of magic do you follow? He asks. And she answers, Shadow. Though I'm a little bit confused. I think I may have sucked my memories into the void or something. He seems... How does he react to hearing that she's a shadow mage? He knew a shadow mage once. Fond memories, but hasn't seen her in a long time, he says. Which... Shadow mages are well respected down in... Shadow mages are well respected here in Rogue's Glade. He nods. You're not from here? And she slowly shakes her head. No, not from here. Well, I'm sure you'd be welcome to help down at the town below. I need to keep focusing on my work here if you don't mind leaving me be. To which she says, alright, can you tell me about this mountain and what this place is up here? I guess if you don't know, he tells her about the area here. That this is... Okay, he tells her about this area. That this is moving up the edge of the mountain, that a lot of their magic is worked here. That a lot of the pools they have here are used for forging magic. In fact, the pool just to the north here is famously a magic forge that is used here. The central pool, he points up further up the slope, that is it goes down, the central pool further up the mountain goes down to the heart of the volcano. And from there, it is only a matter of people come up the mountain for pilgrimages and to experiment with magic and to enjoy the view. You can see things from all across the land from up here. It's good to keep an eye on our neighbors, especially since they are... I don't think we have any allies. That's not true, but officially, Rogue's Glade has no allies. And plenty of enemies. We have been good at making enemies over the ages, over the years. And she takes this opportunity to ask, yeah, tell me about Rogue's Glade. I remember hearing about it, but I don't even remember who I am, much less where other people are. What can you tell me about it? Okay, does he go ahead and, yeah, sure, I'll tell you about my hometown here. He's like, no, I'm sorry, ask someone else, I need to focus on this. And they respect that, decide to move along. Do they check out the magic forge to the north? Sure, okay, they go. It's not that far of a walk, so they walk up there to the magic forge, and there's a bunch of people here hanging out around it. Several humans, it looks like. Group of mostly women, it looks like, sitting around the edges of the bubbling pool, dipping various items into it, and watching them reassemble themselves. They are trying to. They don't seem to be mages per se, but they are using magic tools to try to manipulate the items in the pool and get them to become something, which is interesting. Ooh, do we have a thing there? Yes. How do they greet Rika when she shows up? And they greet her as she arrives. Ah, yes, greetings, daughter of the flame. They say invite her to sit down next to them. They don't seem. They seem fairly open to the others who are there. There is. They see Rika invite her to sit down, also invite Sama to sit down. They kind of look past Shark and don't invite him to sit, and he gives them a kind of odd, penetrating look for a moment and decides to remain standing. He does gesture for both Sama and Rike to take a seat next to the women at the bubbling pool. Rike says, "You call me Daughter of the Flame. Do you know me?" And they say, "Oh, not personally, but we've seen other fire nymphs, and you're welcome here. You also have the marks of a mage, so we thought we would welcome you here as well. If you've made it this far, then clearly you're an ally." Okay, they mentioned that most of the people are down in the town trying to work out who attacked them, and they're content to stay up here for now. There's other people who are good at that sort of thing. Let them deal with it. For now, they'll focus on what they're good at and let each of us do our part, you know? What brings you to Rogue's Glade? And Rika can hardly tell her that it was a random teleport that brought her here. Is vaguely aware that that's what it was. So she says, without much of a... not really sure what else to say, is fate or maybe chance brought me here. I'm trying to figure out what I want. I've lost my memories and I'm trying to get them back. You wouldn't know anyone nearby or any nearby towns here in Rogue's Glade that could help me with that? Oh, yeah. Do they know of anyone who can help with that? Not really. There's people who claim they will help with things like that, but I wouldn't trust anything that meddles with your mind. Best to let those things sort themselves out on their own. To which she does notice Trark nodding. Does he know something? Maybe. Well, let's see. Other things going on. They do seem somewhat concerned, though they are hiding it through they're pretending to be relaxed around this pool, but it's clear that they are stressed about the recent attack. They think that maybe one of the recent raiding parties bit off more than they could chew. And to which Rike goes ahead and asks about that. Raiding parties? It's like, oh yes, we regularly raid our neighbors. We try not to provoke anyone who can really harm us, and when we can, we try to form better relationships, but we've discovered that raiding our neighbors tends to be a good way to remind them to not underestimate us. It's a good threat to keep them in line. Otherwise, we have friendly trade with most of them when they behave. Jokes one of the women at the pool. But you're welcome to sit down with us and see if you can make anything useful. You never know what might pop out of the pool if you put the right things into it. Up close, Rika can see that the pool has some oily liquid in it. It's something about it seems vaguely metallic, quicksilver or something. There's something moving in the pool, a liquid running along the surface, and so the women will often scoop and filter part of the liquid out and put it into containers that they have, and then they will put it back in. So they're using some kind of liquid that's mixing together with the boiling pool. which is nice and warm. Up close, it's almost just like a campfire. The steam warming the air around them. And so she asks, can you tell me about Rogue's Glade, hoping to get maybe some information about why she likes this place in the first place. And let's see, what do they answer to that? How do they feel about talking about their home? Oh yeah, it's Rogue's Glade is an ancient settlement. It's been battle-hardened over the centuries. We've survived what many others have not as a culture. We resist the tyrannies of the kings through the ages and have managed to maintain ourselves independent of the world. We manage to keep our way of life and are always welcome. We always welcome visitors into our ranks, which may be part of the reason why we were attacked. It's easy to infiltrate us. But I think they'll discover that we've survived worse than this attack, and we will survive them as well. I'm sure that we'll soon find out who attacked us and make sure it doesn't happen again. The way she said that makes it somewhat clear that they do things to people who attack them that ensure that that nobody attacks them twice. Against any of the larger powers, it might be questionable what they can manage. Rike doesn't know. She wants to know about Rogue's Glade, and well, can you tell us about your culture? It's like, that is our culture. We raid. We invite others in to keep our way of life. Those who can keep by our traditions are welcome to join us. Those who can't, leave, one way or another. As she says the one way or another, she does gesture down to deep in the pool where Rike does see, it looks like dissolving bones of maybe people who could not maintain their traditions. The threat is clear, one way or the other. Assimilate or leave. That makes it much more of a concern to her. It's like, well, what are your traditions? How should I fit in here? I don't know. No one gave me any instructions on what I should do. Well, you're doing the right thing, asking around. People figure it out, or they don't. Anyone is free to live among us, says one of the women. We generally adopt children from the outside, though we, when we can, are happy to have our own. That creates something of a murmur among the other women. They make some comment about having children, and someone says something about her fifth husband, and they all laugh. It makes it rather clear that this might be a polyandric society, and there's maybe something odd about that. Doesn't particularly bother Rike, but she's not interested in looking for a husband in any case. Memories first. They go on to tell about other things that they do. They have, of course, their food, their dress. They talk about their economy, some of the things they use for money. In fact, they tell her that the liquid they are using here, this is what they use for currency here, and it is not something that's people outside of Rogue's Glade. Well, there are mages outside of Rogue's Glade that use this liquid. It is useful as a currency. It's easy to divide and weigh, and it's almost impossible to destroy. So it's useful. They like to use that and trade it. Often their currency is measured in liters here. I'm calling it liters. Why not? I'm sure they might have some other measurement of volume, but it is used for currency here. And yes, they are very much. They have no rulers. They do have a code that they keep to, and they do try to explain the code somewhat, but it seems a little odd to Rike. She has trouble wrapping her head around it. That's what exactly the code is, but apparently this little anarchist community has managed to keep itself stable for centuries, and they have a code. They stick to it, and they are not afraid to use force on those who do not keep to their code, which they say, oh, don't worry about it that much. We are more forgiving than we sound. We're much less forgiving against organized groups who work against us, as someone apparently tried to do last night. Hint, hint, go down the mountain, take that hint. If this were a real player, they could follow that obvious plot hook and go back down into the smoldering town and see what's there. Rika tries to understand a little bit more about their culture there. She does... Okay, let's roll for that. Does she figure out what she liked about this place? Yeah, she likes for what she hears about the code, she likes, and she decides it resonates with her. She likes what she heard about it. She doesn't know if she wants to make a life here or not, but certainly she feels an affinity to this people and their code. I don't actually have the code written down here, but I might try to come up with one later. I don't have a system for generating cultural codes and laws like that yet, so maybe that should be another table I could write up. What laws do they have? Which, come to think of it, I kind of already do, since the code is something like that, where defend themselves, invite others to join, defend against outside force. They certainly don't seem to mind. This is not a anarchist community in the sense of the non-aggression principle or anything like that. These people are happy to attack their neighbors, and apparently that's part of the code. Is threats of force are absolutely well respected here, so that may be something to keep in mind. And also their willingness to adopt outsiders, in fact even often relying on outsiders for adoption. They will take the poor and downtrodden from other nations, which seems to be one of their major things. They go, when they raid other surrounding nations, they will, that is often one of the ways they recruit. They show up, they make a show of force, invite those who are down on their luck to come join them, and that keeps other communities, other nations seem to appreciate that occasionally, taking people off their hands, the ne'er-do-wells and others that are, of course, going off and joining the pirates that come out of the volcano are often, it's not seen well, but if they don't want to deal with their prisoners, then they're happy to let Rogue's Glade take them, especially if they can get some kind of agreement that, okay, you take our prisoners, go raid someone else for a while. But yes, that seems to be something like the code that they use. In any case, we have here, they tell her about that, so she seems to be a little bit more settled in that, yeah, this is what I like. I like that they have this code, and we can work with that. So, does she decide to move on down the mountain now, or does she want to explore more up here? What's up? Yeah, okay. She wants to explore the area a bit more. So she bids farewell to the women at the pool, wanders north past the pool, comes to another lava tunnel. It looks like this one connects down back to the one that she saw before, or at least seems to connect down into a network of tunnels underneath. Does she decide to follow down into it or move on? She wants to go down into the tunnels. Okay, fine. Where does she go with the tunnels? There's actually not that many places she can go. Let's see. Options 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she loops back down through the tunnels, doesn't decide to go through any of them, comes back up where she went, and decides to leave it at that. Doesn't find anything particularly interesting down in the tunnels. Bones down here. Any animals? Traps? She does seem aware of some of the traps, and she does seem to have a natural gift for detecting traps. What else happens here? Alright, so what do we have next? She goes... Does she want to check out that pool then? So Rika decides that she wants to go up to the edge of the volcano, look in. See, down in the central pool. There's no one here at the moment. There is a further ash cone that moves up, forming kind of the peak of the volcano. But down here, there's this kind of second summit where the main pool is, and she can see down into this pool. The energy here just feels alive. She can feel the force of the earth down underneath her, and something about this place just resonates with her, and she really likes it there. It's just, let's see. Let's roll for that. Yeah, that's good enough. Does she... As she relaxes and meditates here for a moment, she gets a sensation of, not her memories per se, but a sense of power of the volcano beneath her. She can feel its force, its will, as if the volcano is more than just a natural force, but something alive that wants to move up from the earth out into the surface. She doesn't really sense more than that. She has, of course, she feels an echo within her own power, but not enough to jog any memories or restore any abilities, but definitely sense that does restore at least one ability. She forms a massive shadow that takes some solid form and goes through her body remembers the exercise of manipulating it. She moves her hands around and does something with this massive shadow that she generated that actually has mass, and then it dissipates as she allows it to. It fades in the sunlight, in the morning sun. But yeah, she moves on from here. Let's see. Does she want to look at... Okay, can she sense either of the other things here? First of all, yes. Okay, rolled high. Does she want to... Oh, that's a thing she might care about. Well, let's see. Is she more drawn to the east or to the north, where she can feel two other things going on? Did I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wow, that's almost invisible. And I was wrong. Okay, I made a mistake. Okay, that actually works. So, she's drawn to this crater of the volcano. She can sense it. There's something... She can feel the history of this place. And it does feel alive. Like this... she meditates again to kind of... sensing down into the depths of the volcano to see what she can sense there. To pierce the shadows of this deep bubbling pool. And it does have shadows. Let's see, actually let's roll for that as well. I'll give her a new roll. And yeah, not as high, but high enough. She can definitely sense the echoes of magic here. Something big happened here with this volcano long ago. And she can tell that it is not the volcano itself. There was something else here long ago. Actually, let me check the lore. Lore. Okay, here's the lore. Do we have any sense of when that happened? No. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, that's old. That's very old. Back in the founding, the origins of Rogue's Glade, back in the Second Age, she can sense centuries old something down there. She gets a sense for the heartbeat of the world, that it has the flows of magic in this world have come and gone over the ages, that magic has been a force that has filtered into the people around her, making a mark upon the world, then fading, and then coming back again, forming a heartbeat throughout the ages of a burst of magic that fills its people, creates tumult and cataclysms, and then fades again. There's something living in this volcano, deep beneath the pool, deep beneath the heart of the mountain. Something that is still alive, and she's not sure what it is, but it does speak to her for a moment. And decision. Yes, she gets to make a decision. Wait a second. I need to roll properly for this. Let's see. She can choose to either do that, or she tries to reach out to the thing living beneath the volcano, to try to commune with it, speak with it if she can. She has a sense of it there. And as she does, something else seems to bubble up from beneath. A whisper, a memory, she's not sure what, telling her that she has a promise that she needs to keep. And she's not sure she wants to keep that promise. She wants to know what it is. And apparently the promise she needs to keep requires her to not know what the promise is. So she needs to keep the promise without knowing what it is. That is frustrating, and she feels maybe somewhat unfair. But she moves on anyway. Enough of the lore, I think, there. Oh, no, that's important. Yes, she can see deep within the mountain that, no, this is a thing that needs to be restored somehow. something needs to be restored, and she's not sure what it is. Does her memory need to be restored? Okay, no, we need to roll for that. Is it, in fact, the same one? Yep, confirmed. She has a dark familiarity here. Something she does begin to remember something that she has seen before here. And she gets a sense that long ago, whatever was alive in this volcano was defeated by powers beyond her comprehension, and that something about the powers that defeated this thing she has a connection with the powers that defeated this thing, that killed the thing that became the volcano, whatever that means. She has a sense that she's connected with it. Not with the thing in the volcano, but with the thing that killed it. And she's not sure what any of that means, but there's definitely something going on here. And in any case, she decides to move along. Does she, after having that experience, is she interested in going back and exploring what else is here, seeing if anything else can jog her memories? Yeah. Alright, she wants to go ahead and clean out this area, see if she can find the other things, since she has the ability to detect those things. She senses some people to the north. Sees a gathering. From up here she can see a building further north. And this building looks like... Okay. There's a house here. People live up here. It's kind of actually a lodge, more of a hotel. It looks like there's people who live here on a permanent basis, and they also give housing to those who travel up the mountain to stay here and commune with the volcano. And maybe this is something that people regularly do. They come up to this crater to commune with the forces here that lie dormant inside it, which some may be able to do more effectively than others, depending on what magic or meditation they use. In any case, she avoids the building for now and moves over to what is that thing? There's a big rift here. And there she can see, looking down into the rift, there are a group of people who are meditating here. It looks like mostly elves. Elves and humans seem to be living side by side here well enough. I should probably check with the lore to make sure that that's lore consistent. I don't know what elves and humans... Okay, yeah. Lore says definitely humans are a thing, elves are a thing, and really not much else. There's not a lot of other races here. Okay, there's some exceptions, but the vast majority of what we encounter in this campaign should be elves and humans. So, keeping that in mind, I'll try to keep that in mind for other places. So if they generate a whole bunch of nymphs, fire nymphs, no mention of fire nymphs at all in the lore. That doesn't mean there can't be any. It just means that Rike is special, and somehow her race is known to the people of Rogue's Glade, even though fire nymphs have not made a significant impact in the history of the world. They are a unusual race. Mostly we have elves and the swamp-dwelling humans. Really? Yeah, I guess so. No, not even that. Swamp-dwelling elves, too. It's all elves, all the way down. Alright. Now we get some humans in there. Interesting. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. So, mostly people in the world, most civilizations seem to be elves of one sort or another. Fine, we can work with that. That's good world building. Or at least that's randomly generated world building, which is what you get with Chaotica. Alright, so, she sees the people meditating in the rift. And they are sitting there on the edge. She gets an immediate perception about this meditation. She realizes that a crucial part of this meditation is exposure to danger. The fact that any moment they could fall over into this rift. They're sitting on the edge. That is that part of that sitting there where you are close to potentially death. The darkness below, the potential death below, they're meditating about that. And this seems to be kind of a class where they are learning to commune with the magic of the mountain and perhaps align with one form of magic or another themselves. That is apparently how people gain magic in this world, through some kind of meditation where they may manage to align with something or not. Does Rike decide to interrupt them? No, she leaves them be, feels down into the shadows of the mountain again, and no, still nothing. Still no memories. Nothing jogs her memories here. I am rolling for that each time. There is a chance that she will roll high enough to get back some memories or have a major event, but some of these are kind of plot connected too, so she's not going to get anything super major until something special happens, which we'll see. It won't be happening in this area, probably. Does she continue? Does she want to trek all the way over to the west to see that thing that is there? She senses it, yeah, there's something interesting out to the west, but decides no, that's not what she wants. She could continue further down this side of the mountain to another town that way and avoid the town that was attacked altogether. Does she do that? No. So she does decide to go back all the way to the other town and move down into it again. She comes back down the slope to the town that was burnt out the night before, comes down into barricade line where there are several, looks like one warrior with a fish-like face. There is some other kind of mutant here. There's two kind of mutant warriors here. He's got teeth sticking out of his hands and some weird scars all over his body. It looks like a mess, but they challenge her as she approaches, and she, now having learned about the code of Rogue's Glade, decides to she pulls out her sword, which is shadow magic, and it makes it flare up and makes a big impression there. Are they impressed by her show of that? It's okay. They're not really impressed by it. It's like, okay, you show force for force. You have kind of seem to pass the test. You seem to understand our code. And they ask her what she's doing here, and she says that she is looking for a way to restore her memories and perhaps aid in hunting down the people who attacked them. So they, okay, accept that, and they say, tell her to move along. The buildings here have been mostly burned. It looks like there's a barricade. There's a line of barricades that they're here guarding, but not much. Let's see what else is here. Anything? Oh yeah, you got the buildings. It looks like there is a grove here, which has been mostly untouched. This part of the volcano is greener and seems to be more flourishing, or at least it was before the attack the night before. And there are some houses here that people seem to hang out in. Let's see. Does she realize anything about this place? Yes. Yeah, she does get the impression that this is kind of the man's side of town. The women seem to focus more being up in the mountain, up around the volcano itself. Down here seems to be much more of kind of the men's territory, and a lot of them seem warped by magic, so there's definitely some weird mutations going on here. She continues on south, sees a group of people preparing to make a pilgrimage up the mountain. It looks like a group of hikers. They are all associated with Rogue's Glade. Seems like fairly nice people for the most part. Then she decides, she greets them and asks for directions. What can I do to help find who attacked Rogue's Glade the night before, and anyone who can help me get my memories back. And they tell her that not here. This is oh yes, there are. They know of a place here and point to it to the southeast. That there should be someone who they think can help people who have mind problems. So she thanks them and continues on south. Moving on past, looks like there's a field of spiked pits here. This place is just designed to be... it looks like this whole place is designed to be kind of an obstacle course. This is for people who want to attack... At the same time, it's kind of a village. People live in this place, and it's just constant danger. You have to know where you're going here. You have to be one of the locals to be safe here, because She can see people walking across this field of spiked pits. They know where to step, clearly. There are corpses down below who clearly did not know where to step. This place is just casually violent, which is interesting as far as that goes. She decides to not walk across the field of spiked pits, though she does see some interesting islands out there. It looks like a tree and some kind of shrine built around it. There's a large fire where people are, it seems to be magically sustained somehow. There's people dancing around the fire, and there are... Oh, it looks like maybe they found some of the people who attacked them the night before and are doing not nice things to them as an interrogation of some sort. We can skip over that. So let's see. Rike decides to skip around that too. She has a natural sense that she has survived by avoiding conflict, and she doesn't want to change that now. So she continues to the southeast and goes by, finds another field of spiked pits. Is there any way to get past those things? What is going on with the way I marked these things? Did I make a mistake when I marked this? Yes, you have the field of spiked pits. The barricade lines make sense. The field of spiked pits, however, does not make... I just misread. I must have just misread it. Let me reparse this quickly just to make sure things are where they're supposed to be. Oh yeah, I totally made a mistake there. That's just straight up a mistake. Alright. Well, I'll edit this out anyway. So, we'll continue with that, and we have what? Alright, so yeah, she wants to get past the field of spiked pits, and she can't get there. So she gets to the edge and asks for help. Actually, she decides that she can do it. She can figure out where the pits are. She can sense the shadows there, where the pits are, and she manages to navigate them well enough. Trark seems to smile at this and follows her. Sama is more nervous about it and does follow them. They step where she steps. Trark seems to be unconcerned. He seems to know what he's doing. Has he been here before? We don't know. In any case, they managed to cross the second field of spiked pits. And is there anyone here? Yeah, this one is more or less deserted, but oof, that could be a problem. Okay, it leaves her alone. Good. Does she sense it at all? Yes, she can see it. There's a creature in one of these pits that is definitely... It has eaten several of the people that attacked the night before and is resting at the moment, but it is definitely a guard dog of some sort. Oh, yeah, she can sense that. That thing has got some shadow magic in it. That's why she can sense it. What does she try to do anything with it? Kind of interested in maybe speaking to it or trying to do some kind of shadow thing with it. Okay, potentially, what could happen? It could attack, it could befriend her, it could not care. It seems to be on the more friendly side. Her probing with shadow magic is reciprocal. She looks at it and it looks back at her. Guard dog. Yeah, we'll call it a guard dog for now. It's more than a guard dog. The thing is a massive dog-like thing that is big, powerful jaws, covered in blood. Not its own blood. Nasty, nasty looking creature, but kind of nods to her respectfully. It's intelligent. She's not sure what it was. Maybe it was once a man. I don't know. We can invoke that trope. We're all about invoking tropes in Chaotica. So, she moves along. She manages to cross the pit. No one else is here. She manages to cross that pit, cross the other one, gaining more confidence with each footstep. She feels like this place is feeling natural to her. She can move through this. As she is used to the constant danger, the sense of traps around her, she feels more affinity to this place. This is a place that she could call home. And she's filled with this energy of, yes, I can do this. Yes, this is a place that I can live, that I can defend. I can like it here. No, that has since passed. She senses that a great battle happened here. That the attack came from the south somewhere, and whatever happened here, at this barricade line, this is where the invaders attacked. And She's not sure. She can sense that further to the west is where the big magic attack hit and failed. She's not sure what happened, but it happened somewhere to the west. She's more interested in getting her memories back first, so she goes to the southeast and tries to see what's here. Not a lot of people here, but she does reach a scorched hillside. It looks like a burnt tree that used to be one of their groves that has since been severely damaged. There is a farm with a vault that was protecting part of it. So instead of using a barn, they have this big stone vault which managed to protect most of the things on the inside. There is this man that has his face disfigured by magic and various other things sitting here, and she approaches Sama. Sama does not notice or care. If Trark notices but does not care, he watches curiously to see what happens here. Something is Trark. Well, we'll figure out. We will see if We will see if Rike figures out who and what Trark is. She is suspicious, but allows him to follow for now because he is following her, and she's wondering maybe he is the reason she lost her memories. She's getting more and more suspicious of him. So this guy seems like he knows more than he should. In any case, she moves along and finds this twisted-looking old farmer. The guy's got some kind of magic in him. So she walks up and she can sense something. She's not sure what it is. The guy's got power. What kind of power? Doesn't know. But she senses that here's the guy that might be able to help her with her mind issues. So she walks up and asks, I was told that you could help me restore my memories. I have lost my memories. And what does this guy say? We always lose our memories in the end. Death will eventually come for us all. He seems kind of dour at that. I've survived more than I should have. Who told you that I could help you? A group of pilgrims to the north. He just kind of shakes his head. I can't help anyone, he says. I might be able to... I can do a lot of things, but I really shouldn't. Anytime I try to help, I always make things worse. Rike considers that warning and says, all right, I understand. Is there any way for you to tell what I need to do in order to get my memories back? Maybe without affecting me directly? Does he think that he can do anything? He shakes his head again. No, there's nothing I can do. Believe me, you're better off figuring out whatever it is on your own. Don't try to get someone else to solve your problems for you, he says. It never ends well. Interesting advice. So what does she do? What is left that can be done? She kind of turns back to Trark and Sama and asks, well, I want to get my memories back before I do anything permanent. Should I go back to the group of people we saw there and see if I can help them search who attacked? I'm beginning to like this place. I feel like I'm feeling at home here. Does she remember where her home is? I think we rolled the yes from last time. She remembered, but maybe that memory is gone again. I know where she's from. She doesn't really remember where exactly she is from. But yes, she wants to get her memories back, doesn't know where to go. The guy they said could help her says he can't help her, and she's inclined to believe him, doesn't want to force it out of him. And something about this place just feels right to her. And maybe by helping these people, she'll figure out what she needs to do, where she needs to go. I think we can end it there for now. We've done a lot, and we'll continue next time as she goes back to the group of people that she'd seen before, where she hopes to regain her memories one way or another. That will end. And see where the story goes next time. We've officially started Chapter 1, and we'll see how long it takes us to finish Chapter 1. All right.